Rocket League.
We're on the Nintendo Switch, and the game is now free to play, which is really exciting to see. And it also has full crossplay, with all the platforms being involved: PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, obviously. It's great to see. So I primarily play this game on the Xbox platform, and I thought, with the free-to-play release happening, that I should take a look at the game on another platform, because it's a good time to do so with it becoming free to play. And I thought the Switch would be a great candidate to see how it's performing and running on a different platform, because the Switch is quite unique hardware-wise. So if you're not familiar with Rocket League, it's basically taking the well-loved sporting event of soccer and throwing you into cars. It's wildly entertaining, a little bit crazy, and strangely quite a lot of fun, because I thought, initially it wouldn't be my type of thing, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it over the years. And it's great to see it, become something that anyone can enjoy at this point, being a free-to-play title. So they offer a wide range of cosmetic options in regards to customizing your vehicles, your kind of racing things at the back. You see the little jet fuel thing and the different visual elements of the car. There's a lot going on there in regards to personalization of your vehicles. Sometimes they do special ones too. Each platform seems to have its own selection of cars. Oh, I didn't get the gold credit there, man. On Xbox, I have the Warthog as my primary from Halo. There's also the Gears of War vehicle, and as you can see, I'm using the special Mario-esque vehicle option, which is kind of cool. So in the game, you play across a wide range of modes. They have a very large selection available. Everything from, these kind of aquatic arenas that we're in now to space-type places and clean fields and sights of the future with tons of screaming fans in the distance. It's really quite splendid. They have a beautiful selection of arenas that you can play in that all do look really cool and fancy and have their own flow to them. And while they are slightly different from one another, they very much are on brand as being competitive arenas that are similar and competitive in nature, which I think is great. So the game is quite fun, and on the Nintendo Switch it actually performs really well. I've had no issues. It's very fluid performance-wise. It seems to handle quite well and run well. Visually, it is a bit toned down from what I'm used to, but even then, on a 4K screen, it's not too bad. It's just slightly more jagged than usual, which is absolutely fine in this situation. I think they've put together a very appealing and visually great-looking game. Goal! And I think that's fantastic to see on this platform, because that's usually not the case with these, cross-platform experiences. So I'm very pleased with that. On top of that, it looks even better when you're undocked and it's on a smaller little screen. I think that's fantastic. It's a great way to play this particular title. So it's something I enjoy casually. Just fun to play, have a good time with some friends and everything like that. And it's great that you can play with your friends, no matter where they are with this game. It was one of the big pushers of, cross-play capability. So I think that's fantastic to see. And yeah, it's just quite a well done, really well polished, easygoing take on, the sporting events of soccer. I think they nailed it. They did a great job with it. And everyone I've kind of, checked this game out with has certainly enjoyed the experience. Oh, we got scored on. Because again, it wasn't something that I necessarily thought I would enjoy until I started playing it to review it back in the day. And I was like, oh wow, this is actually really awesome. It's quite enjoyable, a plethora of different vehicles to race with as you drive along trying to smash that ball in. It's got great kind of angles for those competitive individuals. You can really feel the intensity. You get a crowd of people that kind of playing together, trying to get in there. You go, the big saves and intense standout moments. Those are always fun. And there's a certain level of strategy too. I should not have pushed the ball in front of the net like that. That was very bad. And just many ways to play it, like I was mentioning. So the traditional mode is the 3v3s, but they have a crazier 4v4 type thing I saw going on there. You can also do 2v2, singles. They have experimental modes. There was one where it was kind of like basketball, another that was like hockey with a puck. All these different kinds of ways to play. There's also some local content too. A little bit of a tournament thing you can do, and I guess that's fun. You can practice as well if you want to get that in there. They just have a lot of content in here, and they've done a really good job, sort of working on that content over time in order to make this a very expansive, large-scale experience. And with it being free play, there's really no excuse not to give this one a whirl at this point. It's got everything going for it. It's got a lot of content, and it seems like they are dedicated to continuing the support for this title. You can also cause a little bit of some explosion too as you drive along, which is a lot of fun. But it's great for, you know, all ages, I think, too. I did do like a Rocket League tournament at my local Microsoft store, and there was this, you know, older gentleman with his daughter, and they were absolutely tanking it. And she was like quite young and having a really good time with the game. So I think it's definitely, you know, something that is appropriate for all ages, something that anyone can kind of come and enjoy, from more casual players to the really hardcore ones at this. And I know I'm supposed to have like there's like a tracking angle you can use here that's for the more professional players and stuff, but I don't care. It's just kind of fun to drive around the vehicles, try to score the goals, and try to win a little bit of glory for the team. Because it really is just a very entertaining and strange sort of game. I'm surprised that it took so long for this to come along. And when it did, you know, it took off, and I think it's been a pretty big deal ever since. It's definitely been one of the, I guess you could say, big selling or well-known titles that people speak about. It's a great party game, which is particularly nice if you have a group of friends. And now no one in your friend group will feel left out because it doesn't cost anything to jump in and enjoy it, no matter what platform they're trying to join in on, which I think is really good. Actually, I don't know. I don't think they have a mobile version, but I'm surprised they haven't done that yet either, because it might work. Well, I guess, you know, because the Switch is a little bit mobile, if you get what I mean. But yeah, it's just a really neat experience. There's a lot of... Why would you move that out of the way of the net? I had a clear goal there. And, you know, you got to balance things, right? There's certain tracks you can do, like circuits on the actual maps, in order to optimize your boost energy as you flow around on the levels. And I think that's kind of cool too for those more intense players, and those strategies of kind of knocking the ball around in order to make those stunning saves. A lot of it's luck, but sometimes there's a bit of skill there. You can do all kinds of neat flips too in the air, which is a lot of fun, and dives. So if you get really tricky, you know, you can do like wild things. Again, at that one competition, I saw someone like would dive their vehicle between like both of us on like a barrel roll. It was crazy. And I mean, I'm not that intensive about it, but some people generally are, and I think that's kind of cool that they can, you know, take that level of competitive play and kind of enjoy it in this game. And if you're just more of a casual player, you can jump in and have a good time too. And I think we'll show off a bit of another match too. 5-centered balls. Slow poke 32 feet per second goal. Yeah. Okay, so we ended up with the same map, I guess, but there really are a lot of maps. I think my favorite one is the kind of, it looks like it's out of a Mario game, as a bit of a castle type situation. It's really quite lovely and really great looking. But I think they've put together an appealing package, a game that is unique, something that's wild. I mean, you can fool around and drive up the walls and do flips off of them and stuff if you're crazy. And it's just really whatever you want to put into it is going to be your like skill level, because there is that certain level of you actually being able to have talent in order to do quite well in this one, which is crazy to think. And also the vehicles, they don't really matter. They're quite decorative, but I'm sure some people will give more intensity about particular vehicle models, and there's all these strategies of centering and doing air balls and working together if you've actually got a group of friends you're playing with. But I'm just having a good time kind of reviewing it and showing it off here. It's just an enjoyable experience, loads of fun, and while it might seem like a bit of a silly game, it's actually, again, quite enjoyable, and I think it's something that is worth your time if you've been hesitant in the past in order to check it out. It really quite is wonderful. I mean, look at the scale of this arena too. It's quite cool with the aquatic theme, and it's nice also to be on the Switch and have an experience that holds up to how I've seen it on other platforms. It's just such a rarity at this point to me in terms of like performance and visuals, and I need to stop hitting the ball towards my end. Not a good situation, as I'm totally out of context for the ball, and I've got full energy and I can't use it. If you haven't noticed, it's actually the star pattern too, because I got like the Mario vehicle going on here. It's like shooting the stars and everything, which is really neat. Oh, jeez. But yeah, it's just a cool vehicle. I mean, I got the Luigi one. I think when you're on the orange-red team, you get like the Mario logo. It kind of switches between them cosmetically, which is kind of a neat touch. And just every platform's got its own kind of cool thing going on with it. I definitely think it's worth checking out. If you're, coming back to the game, there's going to be a lot more players available at the current time. And if you're new, it's going to be a refreshing experience seeing a lot of people jumping in here across different modes and competing as you enjoy the thrills of the Rocket League.